I'm here today with Evan Singler. We're closing on his family's new purchase today in Zebulon. And I just wanted to find out from you, Evan. I know your sister referred us because I helped her sell her house, and just wanted to let everybody know why you guys were looking for a new house.
Yeah, so essentially our story was, we were comfortable in the home we were in. It was a great spot, but my wife works in the Raleigh area. She's a nurse, an emergency nurse at WakeMed. We wanted to get closer for her to be closer to work. Luckily, I have the pleasure from working from home, but she was driving an hour 15 back and forth, and that's a lot. So from a safety perspective and just for her to be closer, we wanted to look for something that was closer to the area and kind of started that process. Talked to my sister about, she lives in the area, luckily. Was just trying to get connected with someone that could show us some things and find the right spot for us. And she recommended you, and so yeah, that's how we landed here today.
That's one of those things to really consider for your family life, to make things at home great. Is his wife was driving over an hour for work. That really is a situation where you might consider moving. His wife works in Raleigh. They didn't find a home in Raleigh. They found a home outside of Raleigh, still cut her time down, and we were able to find a home, cul-de-sac, very small neighborhood with a lot of land that they could really call their own, that they didn't feel like they were looking in somebody else's windows. So that is possible. And Evan, if I recall, you guys held on to your home, your current home, and you're going to rent it out, correct?
Yes, that is correct. All intentions to rent the current home out. That was a conversation we had, went back and forth on whether we wanted to sell and move on from it or rent. Where I landed on was that we wanted to rent that home. We were fortunate enough to get it at a great time at a very low price and a low interest rate. It was a fixer-upper when we bought it. We put a lot of love and time into it over the past 3 years, and it's gotten to a place now where we're very happy with it. But at the same time, it's given where it sits financially, it just makes sense for us to rent and use it as a passive income source.
And that's a big thing, making sense. I know coming from me as a realtor, it probably seems odd that I would recommend that my buyer doesn't sell their house because I'm not now making commission from them selling their house. It makes sense for their family, like Evan said, to have that passive income coming from an investment that they got at a good price, put some sweat equity into it. Now they've got that rental coming in that's money for them. If things do go south, they can always sell that house. They could sell the current house and move back to that one. So that leaves them options. That's something I really want people to know of. Evan, now that we've closed, do you have any advice for any potential buyers? Maybe something you learned during this process, just something you could tell them.
Yeah. So with this house, first house wasn't married. This house, I am married. So coming into the home buying process, it was a lot of managing expectations. Things that she liked about certain homes were things that I was maybe indifferent to. And so a lot of it was coming together and understanding, what made a home for each of us and having that common ground. And I know you saw that a lot through our conversations. So I would say, for anybody looking to buy a home, if you are newly married or you're a couple or whatever your circumstances is, it's coming to the table and understanding, what are the main things that you're looking for, and then understanding how to kind of weigh out those expectations with what the other individual might be looking for as well, and what common ground looks like. We went through several homes.
And I'll give you credit for that. You guys did have that conversation and you knew what each other wanted. There were some houses that I was like, I cannot believe they're not buying this house. But there were some specific things that weren't there that they needed. We finally found that house, and I could see it in both of their faces that this was the house. So that's a great conversation for them to have. Also, as a buyer, please, please, please speak to your real estate agent. Full transparency. Don't feel like you're being a pain. Let them know what it is you're looking for, specifically why you're looking for, and stand by that, because the last thing we want you to do is to rush into a decision, which is the biggest financial decision of your life, 6 months later, not be happy about it. So I commend you guys on that one.
Thank you.
Also, I always ask as a buyer's agent, is there anyone else that will be part of this decision? These guys bought both sets of parents to view the houses that they really liked and got input from their parents. That was a big thing because, believe it or not, I do have clients that won't bring their parents. They rely on their parents' input but their parents have never seen the house, and it throws the whole process off. And it ends up those buyers don't get a house that really worked because they're relying on advice from people that haven't seen the property. So that was a big one for you guys.
Yeah, no, it was a huge one. I mean, we're both very close to our families, obviously. We value their input, but it was good for them to see the space, and it's just having a second set of eyes. It's sometimes they see things that you might not be able to see, or they're able to understand, just with maturity, wisdom, later down in life, things that can come up that you might not be able to see at that time. So it was really helpful for us to have that. I know it probably wasn't always easy because we wanted to go back and see houses multiple times, but it was very helpful in our process.
And that's another thing is maybe get eyes on that perfect house twice. You may have seen it during the morning. Now you need to go back and see it during the evening. You may have seen it on the weekend. Now you need to go back and see it during the week. Thanks for taking a few minutes with us. I hope some of our buyers do find this helpful. It was a pleasure to work with you.
Yes, thank you, Terrence.
Thank you.
For making this a great process.
Cool. See you.